Hi, I gotta have a talk with the village. Yes, it takes a village to raise a child, and I'm sure you've heard it. I'm sure you've heard on social media, posted somewhere, that there is finally a cure for sickle cell disease. And I wanna explain some things about gene therapy. So, gene therapy was FDA approved December 8th, 2023. Yeah, I knew that. It's not new information to us in the sickle cell disease community. It is something we've known about even before December 8th, 2023. Why? Because it takes a while for a treatment to become FDA approved. I first heard about it in 2016, and I have literally met over 6 people who have had gene therapy. While I love that gene therapy gives my community hope, and it is definitely what we've been wanting for the future, everyone who has sickle cell disease is not eligible for the treatment. Yeah, you heard right. Just because a person has sickle cell disease does not mean they can sign up and receive gene therapy. There are some eligibility requirements, and gene therapy does have a cost. While it's not expected for that money to come out of people's pocket, the cost is 2 million and a little bit more than $3 million. So for those of us with insurance, we have to get approval. And for many insurance companies, they have a lot of criteria for people to be approved who are living with sickle cell disease. And for many people, they probably aren't eligible, but it is worth trying and seeking that information out. As someone who advocates in the sickle cell world, I have done my research and checked to see if it was something that was eligible for my loved one. At this time, that is not the case. So what I want the community to understand is sickle cell disease is more than pain. It can cause organ damage. And sometimes with gene therapy, some of the eligibility requirements do deal with a person's organ function, as well as other medical conditions they may also have. It also deals with age requirements. So just because a person is living with sickle cell disease doesn't mean that they are approved to have the therapy. Also, access. So there are millions of people in the world who are living with sickle cell disease, and at a cost of 2 million to 3 million, it is not designed that all of those people with sickle cell disease will receive gene therapy. Here in the US, I will say that it is easier to gain access to that treatment, but for those who are outside of the US, it is definitely a lot harder for them to access that treatment. But even if a person is here in the United States, they have to be approved to receive it. And you may not realize this, but there are not a lot of hospitals and centers who are doing gene therapy. So where someone lives and their eligibility to take off work to help their loved one who is going to go through this treatment may be difficult. So when you are thinking about, oh wow, that person has been cured of sickle cell disease, that is amazing. And it is very hopeful for our community, but it is not something that the vast majority of people who are living with sickle cell disease will be able to get. So I know those messages come in love, and those of us who are very active and vocal in the community have heard about them. We are very grateful, but again, it may not be something that is even attainable for our loved ones. So before you send the next message about seeing the cure, please think about that.